Real quick, before we hop into today's video, just wanted to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, my wallet. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been about a week since our last One Piece content, and I was doing Terraria pretty much all of last week, but we are finally back. I've decided to switch my upload days from Friday to Mondays. That is because the tournaments that I can go to now are pretty much only on Saturdays and Sundays, so getting that out to you guys, I'd have to wait a whole nother week, and that would be almost 2 full weeks without content. So I'm deciding to just go ahead and upload everything on Monday for One Piece, and then we'll still have Taco Bell Tuesdays. But for today, I'm heading over to my new locals, Influx Games. Shout out to Influx, you guys are great. Today I'm taking Black Crocodile for my first ever OP15 tournament. I know I said that this season was going to be called Yellow's Revenge, but I don't have my singles in for this set yet, as I was waiting for them to go down. So today we're taking Black Croc, a deck that has gotten a lot stronger now that Blue has lost cards like Red Rock and Charlotte Pudding, right? So we can stock up on our hand size like we want to. We can keep our Crocs on board a lot easier now that there's pretty much no bottom decking in the game other than Lucy. And yeah, we're just gonna go in and see what we can do with one of my favorite all-time black decks. I'll go ahead and put the deck list up on screen right now so you guys can take a peek at that while I'm talking. But I think Croc just has a lot of really solid options, with the 10-cost Crocodile being able to freeze down 2 bodies per turn every single time that you play it, as well as cards like Halt Couture Patchwork and things like the new Nightmare Luffy, which aren't Baroque works, to really buff up our engine and give us a leg up in the new format. That new Nightmare Luffy, of course, being really good with our leader to put us at a 7k on our opponent's turn because we are turbo filling up our trash in this deck. So really excited to see how that performs today. Anyways, if you guys like the vlog style content, as always, make sure to let me know by hitting the thumbs up button down below. While you're down there, consider hitting that subscribe button because it's 100% free and it helps me and the channel out a ton. And hit the notification bell right next to it so that you never miss when I go live or do another post or video. Hit the curvy arrow button so you can share this video with your friends and they can check out the blogs and whatnot. And also feel free to leave a comment down below saying what you do or don't like about the list, my gameplay later on in the video, or if there's something that you would like to see me do or play in the future. But that being said, guys, I'm gonna log off here and I'll see you at the tournament. Alright guys, we have arrived at Influx here with my brother. So he's gonna be playing some Magic, running Corvold, and I'll be playing One Piece. Alright guys, so that was the end of round 1. Played against Blue Yellow Boa. Very close game. I think I took the bait a little bit and attacked early, and so that gave him a lot of pressure that he wouldn't have had otherwise. I did gamble in the first life. Lucked out, he only got the Grandma Neon, and then he didn't have anything in hand for the Nami, so that worked out. He definitely had lethal on that last turn, but I think I faked him out with the 1 Dawn card and the blocker, so tried to protect up, and I just had too many swings. But anyways, he had a ton of cards in hand, and I was able to filter them all out in 1 turn by swinging, so that worked out. Round 1, we got the dub, so keeping on, keeping on. The Emu player that I saw did just lose, so hopefully I don't run into Emu, which would be pretty sweet. Anyways, I'll see you guys in round 2. Alright guys, so round 2 is over. Played against another Blue Yellow Boa. That one was less close. He countered really aggressively for life early, so I just decided, you know what, I'll go low in life and keep him low in hand. And I just pivoted board. He kept countering for board, and eventually I was just able to get him down so low that he couldn't keep his board up, and then just chaining back-to-back Mr. Ones was enough to rest down his board, and we were just able to effectively control that until we stacked up. He did get us to a point where our lethal was risky, but I decided to full send because his hand would have had to been literally perfect, but we managed to clinch that one out, so we are currently 2-0 on the day against 2 Boas. Pretty good. All right, hopefully I can get one of the new decks in the next matches, but I'll see you guys in round 3. Round 3, it's going to be our Black Crocodile versus Purple NL, one of the new leaders from OP16, right? This leader only letting you have 6 Dawn cards in your Dawn deck, but effectively having access to more than 6 Dawn thanks to the leader's skill, re-ramping you up to 5, right? So very, very strong ability, very aggressive, but a lot of events giving the deck a lot of utility and things that it needs to push it into the late game. So let's go ahead and get started. We won the die roll, and I had to take first here because NL's going first is extremely strong. And so we're going to start off here with the Miss Valentine, right? So looking at the top 4 cards of the deck and getting any Baroque works. So looking at our hand here, we have a Nightmare Luffy and a Mr. 1, just to name a few. So we go ahead and take the Mr. 2 just because that gives us a guaranteed Mr. 1 combo, and removing board in this matchup, in my opinion, is one of the strongest things you can do early game. He's going to start with 2 Dawn, and he has no 1-drop characters that he wants to play out. So very unfortunate start for NL. We're going to draw again. We get another Mikita or a Miss Valentine, and we are going to go in here 7k at their leader because we don't have any other plays. And then we're going to go 1 here to play out that Miss Valentine. Look at another top 4. There was an argument to swing 6 and hopefully get a disappointed, but I decided to take the Miss All Sunday instead and swing 7. We'll take the Miss All Sunday, already setting up for a nasty 7 Dawn turn here. The NL going to 4 Dawn is going to be playing out the Holly, right, which is a very strong character. Then he'll probably play some sort of Dawn minus card here, use the ability to ramp back out and then attach to leader. We'll see what happens. And he's going to go ahead and do leader effect to ramp the rest of his Dawn out, 1 active and 2 rested. And then he can put the rest on Holly if he wants, but he can't swing with that character, right, because it does not have rush. Then he's going to go 1 with his last active Dawn and play out the blocker, right? So this card is a blocker as long as you have 6 or less Dawn cards. So in the NL deck, it will always be a 1-cost blocker, pretty strong. And then he's more than likely going to swing 4/6 at our leader here. Now, something that's very nice is thanks to not having to worry about putting at all, we can almost always do exactly what Croc wanted to do back in the day, which is just take life liberally. And even though I could 2k to get out of this, which is good to respect, right? 1 card get outs against NL, which can swing some pretty crazy power sometimes, I decide to go ahead and take so I can get more cards in hand to try and counter out of this Holly swing if we aren't able to clear it, which we probably won't be thanks to the fact that he has a chump blocker, right? Because normally we could just use the Mr. 1 to rest down the Holly and swing into it, but the issue is he has a chump blocker, so he can use that if we lower the Holly too much. So makes our play here a lot less decent than we were originally planning. Now I'm looking at playing out possibly the Mr. 4, right, the Babe, but then I remember that NL can rest a character with 5,000 power or less, so I go ahead here and just decide to swing a big 5 at his leader. He's going to take, going down to 3 already, which is nice for us. And I decide to go ahead and go for the Mr. 2 here. We're going to go leader skill, make the Holly a 0, and go ahead and mill 2, and then the Mr. 2 will happen on resolution to play out the Mr. 1. Mr. 1 is going to turn that Holly sideways, and I'm going to swing at 6 at it for character rush. And he's thinking here if he wants to let it go. I believe he's just going to give us a 1k. Yep, so he's going to discard another Holly to 1k it, and then I'm going to Haute Couture Patchwork it to actually freeze it. That way we don't have to worry about that double attack swing next turn, right? Because we don't have any blockers, and I want to maintain a healthy hand size without taking 2 life. So we freeze the dog down, meaning that we can swing at it next turn as well. Pretty good idea. He's going to go here with the 6-cost Secret NL, Dawn -1 on play. Look at the top 5, get any card without revealing it, put the rest on the bottom, and then trash 1 from hand. He goes ahead and reveals it, but I told him he doesn't have to here, so I think he forgets it 1 more time in the game, but it's whatever. So he grabs another Secret NL, which, I mean, good knowledge for us to know, right? That we technically don't need to. He's going to pitch out of the Satori here in order to fulfill the rest of the effect of that NL, and now he's going to go leader skill, returning back all of those rested Dawn to his blocker. I don't know why he only added 5 here. I mean, he restood 1 of them, so not too sure why he went down to 1, but anyways, he's going to put all of his stuff under his blocker and then play out a Gadatsu to cycle his hand there, right? Dawn -1 draw card on play. And then he's going to go Lightning Beast Kiten to freeze down our Daz Bones on our next turn because he has 6,000 power less. So pretty strong ability there, meaning we can't pressure the dog with that character. And then he's going to pass turn to us, right? He's not, or no, he's going to swing 5 first. So we give him the Babe there out of hand, and then we untap. I spun the Daz Bones back around now that that freeze effect is over, but he is not restood, so kind of annoying because we can't pressure his board as much. I drop literally every card in my hand here, which is super annoying. Also, I do think the camera gets a little bit tilted here, guys, so please be patient with all of that. So we're going to go for 7 here and play out the Miss All Sunday from our hand. There it is, a bump again, and the camera gets even more tilted. Miss All Sunday on play lets us play out a 4-cost and a 1-cost Baroque Works character from our trash up to 1. So I played another Miss Valentine out of my trash, playing over one of the ones that was already there. So we're going to get a top 4 search here, and we find the Mr. 5 off of that search, which is pretty nice. We're going to grab either a Crocodile or a Ground Death. So we're going to go for the Ground Death here, just get a little bit of counter power, I think. And then the rest of those will be going to our trash. Now we're going to go leader skill, KO our Mr. 2, and we're choosing to skip the mill here. Now Mr. 2 is going to activate and play out the Mr. 5. Oh, I'm sorry, we are going to mill the 2 because I was looking for a Mr. 1 potentially, but we don't find it. So we go for the Mr. 5, and that's going to let us draw 2, trash 1. So we draw a Crocodile and a Miss Wednesday, and I think we end up trashing the Crocodile here, just because we only need like 1 or 2 of those in hand. We can always get them back later with Babes if we need to from our trash. So now we go for 5k at lead. He's going to give us the 1k Satori, and I just passed the turn, right? We don't have anything to pressure the dog, unfortunately. And so now he has a 6-cost, 10,000 power character It can't be removed from the field by effects, but we don't really have effects that can remove stuff anyways, thanks to our leader ability. And then he has the Gidatsu, the Chump Blocker, and the Holly. Now, next turn, unless he does use another Lightning Beast K10, we do get our Mr. Daz Bones back. He's going to swing at it for 10, though, with his NL, and I decide to let it go, right? I don't want to use 3 cards in hand just to save that. And so now we're looking at another... I don't know why he's at 5, Don. He should be at 6. Maybe he's going to use an event? But he puts 1 at the dog, and he's going to go in for 5 double attack. So we have to respect this one, right? We don't want to lose 2 life for 1 5k swing when a 1k can get out of it. But I'm trying to decide what we give him here, and I think the answer is probably we go with the Mr. 5. Potentially the Nightmare Luffy, but I try to keep at least one of those in hand if I can, just because he's unsearchable. So yeah, we're going to go Mr. 1 just because we can play that later off of the ability of a Mr. 2 if we need it. But also Mr. 5, right, being able to play a blocker from hand is kind of nice as an insurance policy. And now he's going to go L Thor, right, buff one of his guys, and then KO our character with 3,000 power less. He's going to KO Miss Valentine, which is annoying because that means we can't swing into his little chump guys with our searcher bodies, right? We have to actually commit a real swing to it. Now he's thinking here he's down to 4 Don from 6. He's going to use 1 for the Satori and then return it to draw a card on play, right? Just, again, filtering out these bodies, getting them on the board, and then changing them with a different card in his hand, all for the price of 1 Don that he can easily ramp back. We're going to go 1 onto the NL leader, which is already buffed from L Thor, so he's going to be a 7k body. We put 2 on the Gidatsu, and then NL is going to ramp back 1 active, 2 rested. He gives the 2 rested to the Gidatsu, so Gidatsu is now swinging for 6. And I believe this would just be a 2k Miss Wednesday, as the NL will be swinging for 7, which will require 2 cards out of hand. But nope, it looks like we are just going to take this one here, and then the NL coming in for, I think it's 8 now, which would mean that we still have to give him 2 cards for the Mr. 5. He's going to L Thor to buff his leader even more, and then KO the Miss Valentine. And so now he's going in for, what is that, 7, 8, 9 at lead. So we could block and give him 2 2Ks, which is a potential play. We definitely, if we want to counter out of this one, like get out of 1 attack this turn, we should definitely have just not taken a life earlier, excuse me, and just given him 1 2k, because now his leader is huge and we're gonna have it give him 2 cards to get out of it. So I think the right play here is probably just take the life and not go too far down in hand, but we'll see what we decide to do. Yep, we're not going to give him 2 cards. We are just going to take... It's another Miss All Sunday, which is very nice for us. Even though I think we already had 1 in hand, it's always nice to have at least 1 to 2 of those in hand. In my opinion, one of the biggest things I've learned in this deck is you don't just start spamming Crocs automatically, which is good in theory, because you might not have a board to keep pressure on him otherwise, and you're spending 8 out of your 10 Dawn every single turn to do that. You want to play at least 1 to 2 Miss All Sundays first to establish your wide board state, and then you can block to clear up space or just let them kill 1 or 2 of your guys before you start spamming Crocs, and you want to maintain those couple of bodies on the board. So we go into Gidatsu with a 5k. It's going to die. We don't have a small guy for him to kill, so it's just going to go away. I think it would be best to play an All Sunday here, and it looks like that's what we're doing. Yep, putting 7 Dawn sideways to play out the All Sunday from our hand. So we're going to play that out. It's going to play a 4 cost and a 1 cost. So here we're going to go with a... And now we do have Mr. 1 in the trash as well to rest down characters. So we can rest down his chump blocker and swing at the dog. So we're going to play Mr. 1 and I believe a Miss Wednesday. No, Miss Valentine. So we're just searching, filtering out, trying to get some counter. I think we're kind of low in counter power at this point. So yeah, we're just going to grab a Miss Wednesday, add it to our hand here. And we have 3 out of our 4 Miss Wednesdays in hand, which is pretty crazy. Now we're going to use 1 more Dawn here to play out the Miss Wednesday from our hand. And I think the reason why I was filling up trash there, like just doing a searcher instead of bringing back a Miss Wednesday right away, was because I wanted to play out Nightmare Luffy potentially to give us more of a buffer against his bodies, right? Because his bodies can only get so big other than the big NLs, which we can freeze. So I really am just trying to make these chump guys irrelevant, but we're going to KO the Mr. 2 with leader skill, not milling, playing out the Mr. 1 from trash. Mr. 1's going to rest that chump blocker because I made it cost 0 with our leader skill. So now we have the Mr. 6 character rush. He's going to go into the dog, right? The dog is still at 6k. We can't use the Miss Wednesday on it. And then we are going to go in with the Miss All Sunday. I don't think we ended up needing the Miss Wednesday because my original idea was I make the dog go from a 6k to a 3k. But the issue is, right, we can't really do that because it has to cost 0 and they had the chump blocker anyways. So I decided to just go ahead and leave it on the board. We swung the 6 into the dog. He countered for it. Now we swing an 8 with Miss All Sunday, though not the one that we played that turn. And he's not going to give us 2 cards for it because he's kind of low in hand now. I think he only has 3 or 4. and then we go for 6k with our blocker into their chump blocker, right? I'm okay with turning this sideways because him going all face here doesn't really kill us. We have a ground death and 1 dawn up, and he only has 3 potential swings this turn, maybe 4 if he plays the rush guy, but whatever. And so now we're looking in a decent spot, right? We have 2 8k bodies, 2 6k bodies, and a Miss Wednesday that we don't really care about. He's going to play out another secret NL here, going down 1 dawn to search the top 5 for a card, and I think this time he remembers not to show us. Yep, so he's going to take that card and then trash 1 from hand, and he takes a minute to think about it. But yeah, guys, this is the kind of board that you want to be playing your Croc into. A wider board that has at least 1 All Sunday and then 1 or 2 6k bodies too. So you can see here I actually don't have enough space. So if he decides to swing into my board, I'm fine with letting one of these characters go. That way I have room to play my Croc next turn. So here he's going to go Mamaragan and rest down my Miss Wednesday. And then I think he swings 2 into 1, and I'm thinking about letting it go, but what I find out is he wants to swing, or not what I find out, but what I decide is he wants to swing one of his secret NLs, right? The one that he didn't play this turn. And so I can actually make it cost 0 with my leader skill next turn and then use Miss Wednesday to pressure it and get cards out of his hand. So I decide to 2k for my 1k body, saying, all right, dude, either send your leader one of your 2 valid swings at it or leave it alone. And so he decides to go with the Lightning Dragon here to keep my Dad's Bones frozen. And now he has 2 dawn left with his leader skill still active, so he can bring back all of those dawn rested with 1 as active. Here he goes with the, I think that's Lightning Beast key 10, and he's going to freeze the Mr. 5. It's either freeze or give it minus power, but I think it's freeze. And so now he stacks a bunch on his secret NL with leader skill after he re-ramps, right? He's going to use that last dawn for Gadatsu, go dawn -1, draw a card, just, again, getting another body. And now his NL is a 14,000 power character. So if he swings at our face, we're probably just going to take it. Do we even have enough to get out of that? We'd have +4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only have +10 in our hand, so we would, but it would take all of our counter. But yeah, he goes for 14 into 8. That's what it was. Miss all Sunday. So we go +2. Or sorry, +4, so we go to 12, and then we give him a 2k, which will get us to 14. That will get us to 16. So, and I think this was buffed from one of his cards, was why I ended up giving him all that counter. But yeah, he just absolutely decimated our hand of counter here, and now he does have his leader swing left, so he's going to go for 5k at our leader. And I'm really debating whether or not I want to counter this, because I only have 2k total counter in our hand, and I don't really want to give up a blocker, but I also don't want to give up the Nightmare Luffy. So really thinking hard here, because I was planning on playing the Nightmare Luffy next turn, but then I decide that in reality, I can just control his Satori here and then end up playing out the Croc, and it will just be better. So I give him the Mr. 5 here. We're going to keep the Nightmare Luffy in hand for now. And then Dad's Bones is still frozen, which is annoying. We make it to 10 dawn here, which is pretty nice. Our trash is very, very thick right now, so we have pretty much everything we need except for, I think, a Babe. I haven't seen a Babe yet, if I'm not mistaken. So we have pretty much everything to choose from in our deck. We go ahead and swing our leader into the Satori, right? No on KO for that character. So Miss Wednesday here, I almost activated it without being able to resolve the effect, because his NL, right, does not cost 0 yet, the sideways one, that is. I know it's got a lot of glare, but we have to, unfortunately, play out over a body first if we want to make that a 0, because we're going to be popping the Croc to freeze both those NLs. So what I do is I play out over the Dad's Bones, because he just keeps getting frozen, and I decide to freeze the active NL, right, because it costs 9 or less. That character cannot attack during his next turn, and then I won't draw a card because none of his characters cost 8 or more, or 0. We go ahead and do leader ability to make the rested NL 0, and we KO the Croc. Now Croc is going to discard the All Sunday to come back, and then it is going to freeze the sideways NL and then let us draw a card. So we're going to draw. We draw into the ground death, which is very nice, and then we're going to do the Miss All Sunday right here, or excuse me, the Miss Wednesday, to give that rested NL minus 3,000 power. So it is now a 7k character. Then we send a 8k into it, asking for a 2k. He gives us a 2k, and he's only got 2 cards in hand, excuse me, 3. So I'm like, okay, I'll just keep getting cards out of your hand. I send a 9k at the NL, and he decides to let it go, not thinking that it's worth those 2 of the last 3 cards. And we leave the 1 dawn up, which luckily we drew that ground death because now we can use it. And we're going into our opponent's turn here. He only has 2 valid swing targets, right? Because that NL is not going anywhere, but he still has 3 life. So we don't even have close to guaranteed lethal yet. We have a blocker and 2 life with only 3 cards in hand. So we have decent defensive options and a little bit of a buffer. But again, we're both starting to get into crunch time here because he has no cards in hand left to defend his board or his life. And we also have very few cards left to defend ours. Starting to get into a really interesting situation. He goes with the 3rd secret rare NL, guys. Crazy work here. Looking at the top 5, and I think because he was just in the heat of the moment, he does reveal us the card again. And I was like, remember, you don't have to do that. So I'll pretend I didn't see it. And he's like, it's fine. I'm just going to play it anyways. He plays the Mamaragan out, goes Dawn -1. He tries to rest our blocker, but something cool about Mamaragan is even though the other event, the Key 10, I think it is, because the Lightning Beast Key 10 frees a 6k character, this card actually only rests a 5,000. So because he didn't subtract our Mr. 5 first, he actually can't freeze it. So he does still cycle the card. He decides, I would try to let him take it back, but he doesn't. He already drew the card, so he knows what's on the top of his deck. So he decides to play it out. But again, Mr. 5 there coming in clutch with that 6k body. So he's going to do leader skill here, bring back his Dawn, and he goes in with the Gadatsu for 6. I decide to block 1k because I don't have any 2ks and I don't want to give him 2 cards. And now I think he goes for another 6 at our leader. Actually, it looks like he might be swinging into the Mr. 5. And I think that is the case. Yeah, because he's a 6k leader. So he's swinging into the Mr. 5. And I keep the Luffy because I want to play for next turn. So I actually give him 4,000 counter to get out of a 6 into 6 swing. And that's because I wanted to play out Nightmare Luffy. And there we go. We draw for turn. We draw Haute Couture Patchwork, which is cool, but the only rested card on his field is the Gadatsu, which is kind of annoying. So not even worth Haute Couturing because we can just kill it with the leader swing. So I decide to start getting aggressive here. I start with a blank 9 at face, just seeing how much he wants to take. Or I was thinking of a blank 9 to just go all in, but we go ahead and go 5 into the Gadatsu, right? Because this basically ensures that we can survive. We go 9 into lead here. He takes, obviously, because he doesn't have that many cards. We go another 9, he takes. And now we have a 10k body and a 6k body. I'm going to go 11 lead. He takes. And then I think I stack literally everything on my character here. Now pause. This right here is a 13,000 power. He has 5 or 6 cards in hand, right? So the chances of this going through are decent. But something more important is you see he has 1, 2, 3 bodies on the board left, right? We have a 1k counter in hand and a brick. And we just put all of our active Dawn onto our blockers. So we only have 2 life and 1k counter to protect us. So you might be saying, well, right here, he can just math you out based off of that. Watch closely. So we go for 13,000 here, hoping that this is enough for game. And he's going to go with, I believe, a Mamaragan first here, which will still let him draw a card. Yeah, so he's going to go Mamaragan, which lets him draw a card. And then he's going to go 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. So he uses his entire hand here, but he is able to exactly counter out. So I go leader skill immediately, KO the Croc, bring back the Croc, and freeze one of the NLs, drawing us a card. So I remove one of the 3 potential swings, meaning that now he only has 2. So unless he can find some sort of a rush option, we actually will survive this next turn and be able to go into an extra turn of our own. Again, one of the crazy parts about Croc is you're still going to kill minimum 1 body at a time, more than likely. So he's going to start with the 6k at lead. We cannot counter out of this. Actually, we can. Sorry, we have a 1k. So we counter out of this, meaning that now he has to find 2 rush bodies just to kill us. So he's going to play out the Shura, which is a rush, go Dawn -1 to draw a card. And now he's trying to figure out, he has, I think, 4 Dawn left here. So he's trying to figure out what he can do. He plays an Ohm, rests that Dawn, goes Dawn -1, draws another card. Plays another Ohm, goes Dawn -1, draws another card here. Now it's time to see if he found that rush target or not to get him back in this game and get him the W. He's going to swing the NL first, which is 10. I obviously can't counter, so we're going to take that no trigger. I think it was an all Sunday. Now all he has left is the Shura swing and potentially another body if he found it, right? But the issue is, even at this point, he can't win because he can put at most 2 on the Shura. With leader skill, I mean, that's a 4k swing, right? So even if we have bricks in hand, he still can't beat us. So he goes ahead and does leader skill, ramps 1 more active, and then puts all the rested on Shura, swings for, I think that's 8 at me. I go ahead and take with no trigger. He has no way to play out any other bodies. He has 1 card in hand. That's just simple math, so we call it there. GG's to the NL player. Tough start for him, right? Getting no early bodies. We did a pretty good job there of controlling the board. I think there were a couple decisions we could have made better, right? Playing out the Nightmare Luffy definitely being on that list. But anyways, we did manage to scrape that out. So GG's to my opponent. Well played. And that was our round 3 replay. So now to see you guys in round 4. Hey guys, that was final round. Got to play against Blue Yellow Nami. Really strong deck. He had the unblockable Sanji, which is a really strong new addition to the deck. Unfortunately, I just kind of bricked. Didn't really see a lot of cards to cheat through my deck early. And so I just didn't have quite enough card selection at the end. I was missing a ground death and didn't see another all Sunday as well to rest down his Newgate blocker with Mr. 1, which was very unfortunate. I think if I'd been able to do that, we would have had a lot different of a game. But it is what it is. Still 3-1 on the day. Doesn't feel that bad considering it's my first tournament really where I locked in on Croc and first tournament of OP15. So I will see you guys later. All right guys, results are in and we got 2nd place on our first tournament of OP15.
Doritos.
All right, so for winning that, we got 3 packs of the new OP15 set, as well as a judge pack. Pretty cool. I don't actually know what comes in the judge pack, but we're about to find out.
What's the best thing you can even pull in it?
I have literally no clue. I've never gotten a judge pack before.
What if it was Adventure on Epstein's Island?
Hey, yo. All right, did I get a leader pack? That's like my my go-to in true combo. All right, here we go. Let me make sure I can still see. What do we got here? Huh?
You got a leader. Got some fat guy.
Like a pro? Like a... Okay, Sanji. I'll take a Sanji.
Lady.
Lightning Dragon.
You might want to record that one. That's the leader pack.
Kuma.
I got Monkey
Luffy. Okay, dude, that's my second alt leader because I pulled Krieg and traded it. What'd you get? Let's go, Bonnie leader.
Chopper.
Okay, I'll take a chopper. I actually don't hate that. Hey, alt leader, we'll take it. That's at least my buy-in. Oh, you want the other stuff? Sweetness. All right, let me sleeve that up. So let's go. We got the alt Luffy. I'll put it in this sleeve because it's the only one I have at the moment. And then last but not least, the judge pack.
Are you gonna open it? Because you get pretty bad luck. Because I'm gonna keep it.
No, my loose pack luck is really good. It's my sealed. It's my seal that I'm gonna have you open.
Let's see.
All right, here we go. I have no idea what these are, but. Bro, what? Why did they reprint this card? Okay. I mean, we're still up. We got the alt Luffy. I'll take it. All right, guys, and that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please feel free to leave a like down below so that I know that you liked it. While you're down there, you can hit the subscribe button because it's 100% free and it helps me and the channel out a ton. And you can hit the notification bell right next to that button so that you never miss when I go live or I do another post or video. You can hit the curvy arrow button to share this video with your friends so they can check it out too. And feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below saying what you did or didn't like about today's video, some cool tech options or plays that I missed, and things that you would like to see in the future. With that being said, that's all I got for you, so you have a great rest of your day.